that people choose to go today. And the general message is, it doesn't matter which one you take. Any direction will work. The problem with that kind of advice is people find themselves far off track and far from God.
At Pathway Church, we're here to help. We're here to help people find the right direction through a close and meaningful relationship with God. It's a spiritual pathway where we follow Jesus in community for others. That's our mission. And those three core values drive everything we do. It all starts with following Jesus. The Bible is our handbook, and the trailhead begins with these key words of Jesus. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. In other words, Jesus is the only way, the only path to God. Each weekend, our services are designed to help you learn how to follow Jesus and grow in your relationship with Him. Weekly worship, Bible reading, and prayer are all important parts of what it means to follow Him. The second marker on the spiritual pathway is living in community. In the Bible, the first Christ followers devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. Being on the pathway is a team sport. You can't do it alone. And that's why at Pathway Church, we want every person to be in a small group where they can do life together, where they can study, where they can pray and care and serve each other. It's where you move from being a part of the crowd to really knowing others. It's where you celebrate the wins and you share in the struggles that are part of everyday life. It's where relationships become authentic and real, and where accountability helps everyone live out what it means to follow Jesus. The third trail marker moves the focus from us to others. We're not on the pathway until we have a focus of serving others that looks like Jesus. He said, whoever wants to be great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be the slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give His life as a ransom for many. God calls all of us to live lives of sacrificial service. At Pathway, there are so many different ways that you can serve. At one of our campuses, in your community, or even around the world. There are opportunities to serve in your neighborhood and nearly on every continent. Living a life of service is what it means to show others what Jesus looks like. We call it both showing and telling the gospel. We've actually been on this pathway for more than 50 years. It started in the hearts of the people of Westside Christian Church back in the 1950s, who believed that God had a desire to plant churches all over Wichita. And because of their faith and courage, multiple churches were planted all over the city, including a small group of people who began meeting at Peterson School in 1959. Because that group had a heart for others, they grew and grew until their path took them to a new location at 10th and Tyler Road in 1964, and then to our current location at 21st and Mays Road in 2003. And even now, with multiple locations, the pathway is still the same. It's still about following Jesus in community for others. So as our path takes us into the future, as we run our leg of the race, we want every person to be able to experience all that God has for them. That's our calling, to tell His story and to share with people everywhere the one true way in Him. So what path are you on? Are you ready to get started? We want to do all that we can to help you, but you've got to take the next step. We'll see you on the pathway.